Welcome back, everybody. We're here with Fernando.
How
Hi.
are you, Silvia? Hi.
I'm very good. How are you?
I am very fine. It's always a pleasure to be here with you doing these videos.
It's absolutely the same, and actually, I'm always thankful because I'm really enjoying this time together. It's a good chance also for me to, to have an exchange with a colleague. It's always, I don't know, it's a chance to learn something
Yes.
that, a different perspective, and is very enriching. So I hope this translates into our viewers.
Definitely. And it's always good to review our studies in order to become more apt and more skillful in what we do with the cards.
Absolutely. It's peers reviews, isn't it?
Definitely.
That's how it's called. Okay, then let's jump into it. Today's video is for the number 8 pair. Okay, the 8/9, as we know, because we start from the 0 number. So the 8th pair is dedicated to the shadow planet Rahu. So it's the north node of the moon, which so many fear and are very much afraid of. But we're gonna see a side of it today that is very interesting instead. And the two major arcana associated to these numbers are for the feminine, so the red 8 is the hangman. Yeah.
Correct.
It was slipping my mind. For some reason, I'm having an hangman moment today. And then for the black 8, so the masculine, is the chariot. So
Correct.
we're having these two opposite energies, and we're gonna get into details, okay? I just like to remind something about Rahu, which I always keep in the back of my mind when I either deal with an 8 card or these two major arcanas. I always remember that this is the chance that we have to, and we have the right intensity to make no mistake that whatever we experience outside of us is reflection of the inside. So
Definitely.
the paradigm I keep in mind, and I think it can be helpful also for either students or just curious of the people curious of the cards of truth. We're dealing with this experience. I cannot mistake. I'm sure that what's inside it's reflecting outside. So there's nobody to blame for anything but me. Blame or praise or whatever.
Sure.
So the hangman stays there, upside down, where the chariot is moving. So it's it apparently are two opposites, but that's the journey that happens inside when, for the number 8, we're dealing with friendship. Friendship with what? Friendship with what we meet inside.
Definitely. Very beautifully put. Yeah.
What's your take on this? I'm really very eager to hear your point and point of view.
Sure. So let's start with the number 8. And what is the number 8? The number 8 is basically acceptance, which sometimes translates to this friendship that you were talking about. And it's also serenity and independence. So with the 8, we achieve that lack of dependency from others, and we accept ourselves in order to become serene within our own self-sufficiency. And when here in the 8, we have to ask ourselves, what makes us whole? What completes us within ourselves, right? Because in the 9, it's going to be a little bit, it's more or less the same, but it's more universal. It's more nirvana. Here in the 8, it's just within ourselves. And we see this 8 through the hangman and the car or the chariot. And as you said, these cards are very opposite. And in a way, in addition to the sun and the moon, these are the most obvious cards that kind of represent this male and female energy. One is completely still, the other is just moving,
Going.
And we're gonna see how this manifests, because obviously, as you said, the car or the chariot represents the black 8s, the 8 of spades and the 8 of clubs.
And those two are very different from one another.
Yes, yes, they are.
That's very interesting also.
Yes, but they both exemplify this male energy of the exterior. And here in the car, in the chariot, we have to accept within ourselves that what I am is what I am. You know, we have to fall into that acceptance of realizing that it doesn't matter how I see myself or how others see myself. You know, I have to accept myself by who I am, with all my pros and all my cons. You know, and through this, we engage in exterior actions that are honest and woke.
We also take the time to realize that.
Yes, and but saying this, what I mean is that we take the exterior action to do what we have to do in the world from an honest and woke perspective. Yeah. And in the end, it's just the action and the acceptance of the results that we get through doing new things in life that we're not accustomed to do. Because we have to remember, this is Rahu. So it's basically the things that we don't have experience in. Yeah. And we have to accept ourselves, accept that we don't have this experience, and just throw ourselves to the world, like in a car, like in a chariot with horses, and just attack, just do. Is it going to be successful? Is it going to be, you know, is it going to be a victory, a triumph? Nobody knows. You just got to do it and just throw yourself at it. Yes, you were going to say, I'm sorry.
Rahu can, I was just going to say that Rahu can be perceived or throw at us fear.
Oh, definitely. Because I mean, in the chariot, you know, you're going to war sometimes. I sometimes think of the chariot like the chariot of Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Mahabharata. The idea of, you know, this guy is going at war with his cousins and he's afraid. And you know, but you got to do it because that's what Rahu is telling you to do.
It's an inner calling at the end of the day.
Yes, you have to accept it. That's where friendship comes in.
Yeah, because that the sense of friendship, at least the way I see it, is that you become friends with yourself at the end of the day. You have the chance to connect with that energy that is yours, and it's you actually, it's not yours, it's you. And you see that whatever that energy or that self-expression is made of is mirrored outside. So you cannot mistake anymore any action or any happening that occurs to you. It's that being honest with yourself, as you said beautifully. Being honest means I'm not fighting my existence anymore. Now I see it's unmistakable. That is me, that I've done this and that I caused this and that.
And that brings serenity.
Absolutely.
And that brings independence. Yeah, that's
There's no more enemies.
Yep.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. And in the other hand, we have the hangman, which is, it's quite similar, but it's opposite. It's basically, you know, if in the car we accept what I am is what I am, in the hangman, we have to accept the total submission to life. You know, we have to accept life, not ourselves. We have to accept how life is and just go with the flow, you know.
Let it work through us.
Exactly. Surf the wave, ride the tiger, like they say in Italian, montare il tigre, something like that. But yeah, you have to really accept that. And it comes through interior disposition, right? The hangman was exterior action, yes. But the car was exterior action. The hangman is the interior disposition that is honest and woke to accept everything that comes your way. And it's basically the non-action. It's the passivity. It's basically the no action and acceptance of results. And this is a new thing. You have to accept that because we come into the world, you know, not necessarily with this attitude. We just have to accept it and change our mind to acquire these new ways of thinking. And through this passivity, through this no action, through this acceptance and withdrawal within, we become serene and we achieve acceptance and independence, right? And it's very interesting because as we're going to see this more in the 9, but in the 8, we start to see it. You know, the exterior action of the male energy is rapidly evolving inwardly,
Absolutely.
while the female interior energy is rapidly evolving to the exterior.
Yeah, it's very difficult to separate one from the other, because if you think about at the 8 of diamonds, it's very much reflected onto the material world.
Yes.
Very much. Same thing goes for the 8 of clubs, I would say. It's like, I think something and bomb. Cards lay out for me in order for me to get where I wanted, what I wanted. And the same thing goes for the 8 of diamonds especially. So it's a beautiful meshing of the two, though they are very distinctive from one another, absolutely. But as you said, yeah, beautiful.
And we're gonna see this more in the 9, because we talked about this when we're discussing the 8s and the 9s in the previous videos that we did. You know, once you achieve the 8, the 9 is almost automatic.
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this. Is in my perception, the start of the 9 is the last step and realization of the 8.
Yeah, and the 9 is so simple. The 9 is just comes automatic, which is very common to the moksha karka that Ketu is. You know, it's very complicated, but it's very simple at the same time. I'm sorry, you were gonna say?
I was saying that we maybe can name this 8 the death of Don Quixote.
Yeah, Don Quixote. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how
that's nice.
Around the world. Yeah. He's not fighting anymore. He's just actually accepting what it is, and then he makes himself being a channel for everything.
At the end of the book, yeah.
Yeah, at the end. Okay, then. So we anticipated a little bit about this 9 that we're gonna see, and we're gonna save it for the next video.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Remember to change clothes for next week.
Yeah, very different. It's gonna be very different. Ciao, Fernando. Super thanks.
Ciao, Silvia.
Ciao.